What do the pictures have in common? What accidents can occur at any time during sailing, loading, discharging, and cargo tank cleaning? What should be considered in the safe operation of chemical tanker? Compatibility and reactivity of cargo and cargoes. Acrylonitrile leaking explosion. Actual cause of the accident. Caustic soda leaked into the adjacent tank, which has been loaded acrylonitrile. Then the tank exploded, once reacted between cargoes. The ship was totally fired and sunk, and no survivors were involved. Accident caused by leaking of sulfuric acid. A fatal accident. The actual cause of the accident in 2012 was that the sulfuric acid that had been loaded at the time leaked to the ballast water tank, reacted with the seawater loaded there, damaged the hull, and the ship was sunk, also causing personal injury. Human accidents created by poor safety management. The actual cause of the accident in 2014 was that the cargo flowed into the ballast water tank during the cargo mixed loading and reacted with the seawater. The human injury caused by the explosion within a short time. Explosion occurred during tank cleaning. Preventable accidents. The real cause of the accident in 2015 was explosion by reacting residual cargoes with each other when did tank cleaning after discharging of nitric acid and acrylonitrile. There were casualties. Chemistry. Cargo reaction. Chemical reactions include self-reaction, reaction with air, reaction with water, and reaction with other cargoes. Self-reaction refers to decomposition and polymerization. The reaction with air means the reaction of oxygen to form a double bond such as peroxide or decay. When water and such cargo are encountered, causing dangerous gas and sometime explosion can be occurred. Now, let's look at the mutual reactivity of cargo. The mutual reactivity of cargo means that to react with different cargoes when mixing each other. The following examples illustrate the dangerous reactions of interactivity. The adverse reactions of the unsuited cargo are to release heat and produce dangerous fumes and gases. Very fast reactions, especially, cause an explosion. As we saw earlier, it is very dangerous to load the interactive cargo in adjacent tank, so it requires special safety management. The most important thing is to prevent contact with the reaction material. Let's look at the important points of contact blocking and separation with reactants. First, double separation, isolation, and shutoff are required for cargo loading and handling. Secondly, the air must strictly separate from the cargo. Usually an air shutoff, filling the cargo tank and pipelines with a gas or vapor which will not support combustion and which will not react with the cargo, such as N2. Cargo reaction by oxygen in the air can cause rancidity and corruption. As a result, heat and toxic gases are usually generated and oxygen in the tank is fading away. This reaction causes many accidents. Toxic gases can be identified directly by smell. In the case of oxygen, it is difficult to check for oxygen deficiency without measuring it. If the proper action has not been taken, the following situations arise. Heat and toxic gases are generated causing the cargo and surrounding area to rust and decay. The following is an example of an accident that may occur when oxygen in the tank is low. Oxygen concentration cannot be confirmed with eyes, so be careful at all times. Depending on the concentration change, your body may be at risk. Oxygen concentration by 88% is the lowest in the occupational safety and health standard. Continuous ventilation is required concentration. Anomalous signals begin to appear in the body from an oxygen concentration of 16%. Increased respiration and pulse, headaches and nausea can occur. Oxygen concentration 12%. If you are dizzy or nauseous and are hanging high or somewhere there is a risk of muscle weakness and falling. 10% oxygen concentration. His face is pale. He is vomiting. There is a high likelihood of being unconscious. Oxygen concentration 8%. Fainting. After 7 minutes, death will occur. Next, let's look at the reactants and the need to block water. When the reaction cargo comes into contact with water, the following phenomenon occurs. If you are exposed to violent reactions, hazardous gases are generated. As before, for example, prepare for the danger. Mixed contact blocking with non-wrecked cargo must be made. It must be double separated. Tanks and operating systems must be strictly separated throughout the cargo handling. Interactive containers must be placed in adjacent tanks. Adjacent tanks include side, front, back, all. When storing samples of cargo, it is also important to remember to divide the compartments and isolate incompatible samples. Did you become aware of the cargo that caused the reaction? If so, how can you confirm that it is a cargo that causes interaction? It can be confirmed by the compatibility chart. As a chart dividing the chemical cargo groups and defining the reactivity between the groups. It consists of 22 reaction groups and up to 43 cargo groups. Signs between groups can identify dangerous reactivity. There are 22 reaction groups. Next, cargo group up to 43 times. From the 13th to the 43rd times, the result value with the reaction group is not marked as none. Interchangeability, reactivity, and coexistence are among the compatibility. If so, at what stages? Compatibility risk considered appropriate. When preparing a loading plan for cargo. When preparing cargo operation. When tank cleaning. When disposing cargo samples during tank cleaning. When storing cargo samples. BTC. When completed of cargo operation. The correct answer is, at all stages. Strict care must be taken to ensure that the cargo's interactions are not interfering. Cargo plan. Cargo loading. Cargo transportation. Cargo discharging. Cargo tank cleaning. Again, the cargo plan is repeated in order and requires constant attention. The responsible officer. For everyone involved, they must be aware of the hazards and work on them with minor mistakes and indifference, because it can cause irreversible results. Appropriate reporting at every moment and communicate closely. You must follow the safety procedures. All of the cargo's compatibility training is over. Thank you.